Hello, everyone. Welcome to Heart Center Tarot. As always, my name is Marina, and I will be your guide for this portion of the journey. Welcome to Messages for Lightworkers, episode 108. You'll notice I'm here by myself. I'm doing a solo show today as my dear friend Val is currently flying to Cancun. I wish I was there. I really do. I wish that I was flying out there with her. But in any case, I'm going to do my best to carry on with the show, and I know I can feel her energy here. So, um, thank you, thank you for joining me. Thank you for spending part of your day with me. Hello, artist Liz, Joan Baker, Mary Epperson. We've got who else is here? That's it for now. There's a few that are kind of in the background, just listening. That's all right. You're allowed to do that. So don't forget, before I forget, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'm getting very, very close to 4,700 subscribers. And I'm at, I keep going between um, 46, 45, 46, 43, 46, 47, in that range. So I'd like to get over that, just kind of get over the hurdle. And hello, book. Nice to see you here. And Sunflower Down Under. Nice to see you here as well. So, I did pull a couple cards to kind of, get in on the energy, but one of you just commented about watching Jimmy Carter's funeral. I did the same this morning, and it was exceptionally moving. And I was thinking most of the day that maybe that's what I would talk about. Would be not only the funeral, but the sentiments that were expressed for Jimmy Carter, the kind of person he was, the kind of legacy that he left behind, and the stark difference between what folks said about Jimmy Carter versus what they might say about someone else who could never, ever, ever hold a candle to Jimmy Carter. So I think that the cards that I pulled really kind of go along with that. They really do. I picked from this is the Soul Coaching Oracle. And what I got was transformation. And I know that Jimmy Carter has gone through his transformation. He is with his beloved Rosalind. He is with spirit. His soul right now is complete. He is, and if he is reviewing his life, there is nothing there really that he can say, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. I think that the man lived his faith. He really, truly did. He embodied everything that when I think of someone um, who follows in the footsteps of that Christ being. Jimmy Carter did that. That was his life. That is his legacy. And I was so struck by how many people had had nice things to say about him and the examples that they gave. And it really was an absolutely moving funeral. And I remember thinking at one point, oh boy, if I can only hope that when it's my time to go back to source, that I can hear some of those, um, at least part of those things said about me that they said about Jimmy Carter. I think he was um, everything good about the world. So yes, he's gone through his transformation. He is reviewing his life and the things that he has done, the things that he has accomplished, and so on. The next card that I got out was opening, and this struck me as I think that is a lotus, and not only is the lotus opening, but the lotus is one of the few flowers that thrives and blooms in muck, right? It's usually in muddy waters, in mud, in something kind of heavy that out of um, out of that muck, for lack of a better word, you get something beautiful. So I think his transformation for him and the message behind his transformation for us is that we are all opening to the possibilities of the things that are coming, the things that we are. Excuse me, while I play with my eye. The things that we are going to manifest, the things that we are going to do, and I I really, really resonated with that card. And the last one that I got was focus. And I was drawn to this card um, because it it's almost like that child is holding the wand out so that the butterfly can land on the wand, but that wand could also be a flute and a way to communicate, a way to send out that message that focus on your intention, focus on what it is that you do on a daily basis so that you can contribute to the well-being of the people around you, the well-being of the world that you live in. And we may think that, well, what's one little person? What can I do? I'm just one little person. But when you take a whole lot of one little persons and each one of them does something to the best of their ability, all of a sudden that magnifies, right? Very much like the Shine Your Light event, which is going to be coming up on Saturday, the 25th. I hope that you will all join us. And yes, book. I heard from Linda. She's very safe. She said she's like 800 miles away from the fires, and I think it was yesterday or the day before that I heard from Arthur, and yeah, he's okay. So still, let's all send out as much light and love as we can to that area. Let's hope for rain to come in, for the winds to subside, so that all that devastation can be handled. There's an awful lot of people that are really, really in dire straits right now. When you look at the communities that one day were there, they're gone. They're gone. It everything is cinders and ruins, and yeah, it's awful. So there's going to be a lot of people that are going to need a lot of light and love sent to them, and I think we can absolutely do that. So hello Garnet, and hello Tea Garden. Teresa, Gary, and David, I think that they're pretty safe too. They're around the San Francisco area, so I think that they're removed from that as well. And David had posted a video earlier, and he didn't say anything about it. So I assume that no news is good news. So, but we can still hold them in our thoughts and prayers, and whatnot, and just send them whatever it is that they might need at this moment in time, whether that is, you know, a hand up, whether that is, you know, prayers for their safety and so on. Whatever we can do, we can absolutely send it out to them. So now let's, for those of you that saw or that watched Jimmy Carter's funeral, one of the things that really struck me was the faith that his whole family has. The sort of desire for everyone to do their absolute best, to live a life that is honest, that is faithful, that is based in truth, and that is based in doing the right thing. Not something that is expedient for the moment or something that, you know, the payoff is going to be down the line. No, it's doing the right thing at the moment. And I think that he has left us in good hands. There are still people who are listening to that message. There are still generations who are going to be using his life as an example. So, yes, book. Yeah, book is saying, yeah, Jimmy is organizing all the great warriors on the other side to create strategy to address the chaos. MLK, Mandela, Washington, Lincoln, Shirley Chisholm. Yes, Einstein, absolutely. Absolutely. I think that, you know, I could, and I think it was one of his grandsons who said that he had hoped that the Almighty would take a moment to listen to some of the ideas that Jimmy had when he gets up there. And I kind of chuckled and I thought, well, you know what? He's got some pretty good ideas. You know, I mean, the the man was talking about us having to look after the world. He was talking about climate change and all that kind of stuff before it was popular to do so, before a lot of people did. And you know what? He was absolutely right. The things that he warned about, he was absolutely right. So, yeah, he put solar panels in the White House. And then Reagan came in and took them out. So, but anyway, I really don't want to get into a political discussion with that. But I think that for his part, he has left the world in a much better place. And I hope that his life is going to be an example to an awful lot of people. And hello, Lauren Hunsinger. Nice to see you here. Dawn Turner. Hello, Dawn. Nice to see you here as well. So, yes, if you want to share any thoughts that you have about Jimmy Carter, feel free to do so. Let's share some of his memories, some of his greatest hits, the things that he did that, you know, people forgot. The when he met with Anwar Sadat and Menachem Begin, when he put together that Camp David Accord and brought some peace to the Middle East, the everything that he did was based on humanity and what's best for everyone and taking care of everyone, looking after everyone, especially women and children. Absolutely. And yes, Lauren, he established FEMA. And I'm sure that a lot of folks in California right now are very happy that that he established FEMA. So, yeah, he was I remember I remember seeing him on TV when he was president, and he was always very humble. He was always, he spoke from the heart. There, he wasn't a typical politician in terms of talking for 20 minutes and not saying anything. Um, he was he was very honest, like very principled. Like I said, he lived he lived the Christian lifestyle that he promoted and that he espoused. He absolutely did. So, uh, Don Turner says, yeah, he and his wife always impressed me because they walked the walk and actually was true to himself. Yes, he never pushed his belief. No, no. And he did. He always treated everyone with respect. And that was what so many people were saying about him, was that he, he was always respectful. It didn't matter where you came from. It didn't, he didn't look at the size of your home or the size of your bank account to decide if he was going to invite you in for tea. Um, it, I somehow have a feeling that if if someone was driving through Plains, Georgia, and they said, "Oh, look, that's Jimmy Carter's house. Let's stop in." And they stopped in and knocked at the door, he would invite them in. I have no doubt that that's exactly what he would do. And he would want to know all about you and where you come from. And yeah, he would treat you like he had known you all his life. So, and yes. Oh, and Shaw Woman's, oh, lovely. Um, Yeah, I had a college class with one of the Iran hostages back in 1992, Rocky Sigmund. Oh, wonderful. Yeah, yes. And I think he's going to be a lot of people's favorite. I think so. Yeah. And I love the story about Carter and Ford establishing a lifelong friendship on the way back from Anwar Sadat's funeral. Yes, yes, their agreements to speak at each other's funerals. That was, um, yeah, that was very, very nice. It was very nice. And I mean, can you imagine um, that having that conversation with someone and saying, "Hey, you know what? Can you speak at my funeral?" Which I think that it's and it is so in line with the kind of person he was. And yes, he was very, very genuine. I don't think that what's the word I'm looking for? Um, I think what you see is what you get with him, right? There's no pretense there. There's no you have to listen to me because I'm the president. I'm important. He took everything in stride. Everything very much um, like the way that Christ consciousness would, right? I accept you for who you are, where you are, and that's okay. Yeah. Um, yes, yes, Don. Yeah, I think he probably would invite you in for tea and say, "Hey, yeah." And it was lovely what Ford's son said. Absolutely. Um, and hello, Shaw Woman. Yeah, yeah. Thank you. Thank you for the blessings. Yes, and blessings to all. So I'm uh, um, I'm plugging along without my amazing co-host, and she is probably about an hour or so away from Cancun, and oh, she's going to be laying on the beach. Yeah, it's wonderful. And yes, Garth Brooks sang, yeah, Imagine. Um, I got to tell you, Joan, when he first got up there, I didn't recognize him. I was wondering who he was. And then when Trisha Yearwood started to sing, I thought, wait a minute, now she looks familiar. Where do I know her from? I didn't put the association together until at the bottom of the banner it said Garth Brooks, and I went, oh, but haven't really seen too much of Garth Brooks or Trisha Yearwood recently. Maybe I'm just not looking at the right things, but um, yeah, it was a beautiful, beautiful song, and it was very, very fitting. Yeah. And yes, book, he worked as hard as he expected others to do. And I think that I loved that he spoke up for how he wanted his vice president to be treated. That this wasn't going to be a position where you can just kind of dump on the person. I think he changed the makeup of that office in a very positive way. And I think that Ford bringing that up, it was kind of I saw it as a nod to um, the Kamala Harris. I really did. And yeah, there was a few folks along the way that when they made their comments, and you could see, I mean, they're reading, and then their focus would shift somewhere, and it's like, ooh, I know who you're talking about. um, oh, book. Val called Arthur to check on it, and her flight was good, but saw the smoke. Yes. Oh, I could imagine. I could imagine the little bit that I saw when they were showing kind of a an overview, especially when they showed the Palisades that along the coastline, and you've got a picture, and you could see that there's all these roofs of homes, and then the next picture, and it's like devastation, devastation. Yeah, it was something else. And yes, Joan 45 did look very uncomfortable. And, there's a part of me that hopes he was, because I hope that somewhere, um, in his mind, he realizes that that's a kind of eulogy he will never, ever get. Ever, ever. I think probably the nicest thing that anyone could say about him would be that the man had such a profound respect for the truth that he deferred to it rarely, if ever. So at least that's what I would say about him. And yes, yeah, he was not in the front row, and I noticed that I think Barack Obama drew the short straw. I'm sure that they were all in the back going, "Who's going? I'm not sitting next to him. Who's going to sit next to him?" So, yeah, Barack Obama drew the short straw, um, but I don't think that Barack Obama shook hands with him. I think Barack Obama shook hands with everyone else that was behind them, and the others, as they came in, shook hands with everyone except for him. So, yeah. Um, and artist Liz says there are planes from Canada there helping spread water over the fires. Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. But thank you, Liz. But you know what? When we had the fires up here in Jasper and in BC, there was a lot of firefighters from the US that came up here and helped. That's what we do, isn't it? Isn't that what we should do? Is you see someone in need, you see someone that that needs your help, you don't ask them, how did you vote? You don't ask them, well, wait a minute, where do you live? No, it's, you see a person, you see another human being who is in pain or is suffering, and your first instinct should be, what can I do to help? Yeah. Oh, and yes, Don. Yeah, they owe him dinner. I'm sure that they owe him several cases of wine or whatever his drink of choice is. And yeah, and I did notice that that Donald tried very, very hard to engage Barack in conversation, and at one point, as I was watching them, I thought, you know, that Barack Obama was speaking and moving his hand, and what I could almost hear him saying is, "Well, Donald, that's how a bill gets to the Senate. You have to." Anyway, that was my moment of kind of, yeah, playing in the moment. And yes, 2015, Fort Mac and Kelowna, absolutely. Absolutely. Not only the Americans, but the Mexicans. They came from across Europe. There was any firefighter anywhere said, yeah, they will. You need help? I'm here. What do you need? What do you want me to do? You want me to go dig over? I can dig that up. Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, absolutely. And if your beliefs make you a genuinely better person, then so be it. Exactly. Yeah. And yes, Lauren, I think Obama um was having fun. There was a few times where he kind of laughed, and I'm sure that you remember, I don't know if you guys do, and okay, so this video is going sideways. Um when shortly after Trump got in, there was a meme that went around, and it was Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama, and both of them are like belly laughing, right? And the caption, I think the caption was something along the lines, and he thinks this is real or something along those lines. Anyway, yeah, like I still think of that, and I may not know exactly what the words were, but I know how it made me feel, and I laughed. Yeah, and uh, Guadalupe, Melania looked left out. Oh, okay. Just heart-centered Marina is going to leave you for a moment, and my inner child is going to come out. Who dressed that woman? That had to have been the most unflattering, ugliest dress I think I've ever seen. And could nobody give that woman a hairbrush so she could brush her hair? Like, just seriously? Come on. Like, anyway. All right, back. Hello, Venus. Yeah, and she did look. She did not look happy. Uh, Watched the White House Correspondents' Dinner for Obama. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one was good. That one was good. Yeah, they do. They have one every year. And yeah, Betty, absolutely. It was all about character, character, character. Yeah, yeah, as I said earlier, that Christ consciousness lived. He lived that. He didn't just, pick up the Bible and quote you verse for whatever. He literally lived each and every word in the Bible, and he meant it. He was genuine about it. So, yes, yeah, yeah. And she tried to shake Mrs. Penn's hand and was ignored. I don't blame Mrs. Pence. Hello. Yes, Quaker dress. Oh, that is, yes, absolutely. She did not do herself any favors at all. I think that I wonder how much she was paid to attend. Because if you notice initially when they first came in, they were holding hands. Someone told them that there would be cameras there, I think. Yeah. Um, oh, Shawwoman, was Melania really holding her program upside down? It's entirely possible. It's entirely possible. I don't know. Maybe she was trying to send a message. Help, please. Somebody help me. Yeah. Um, can that word? No, no, she cannot. No book. She cannot. Like whoever is advising her really has no sense of taste. Like there would, I thought um, Jill Biden looked stunning. Um, I thought Kamala Harris looked amazing. Everyone else looked very appropriate to the occasion. Melania looked like she was trying to do, like I want to fit in, but I want to stand out. you know. Okay. All right, never mind. Inner child Marina has to leave, and heart centered Marina needs to come back. Yeah. Yes. No hand holding, 500,000, hand holding, 1 million. Don, absolutely. I know with every, oh, Lord, hold on. I know with every fiber of my being that today is divine timing in action. It seems to be orchestrated decades ago and manifest. Yes, I I am picking up on Lauren on some of that same energy. Um, that he wanted to live long enough to be able to vote for Kamala. He did. He also um, he also knew that his his exit was kind of like the period at the end of the sentence. If he had waited another few weeks or another few months, I don't think that there would have been the funeral that there was today, because I don't think that someone would have enjoyed that many people would want to come and praise him. And he would want to be the one to, well, yeah. And Jimmy Carter didn't do this, and I did this. And when I set up FEMA, and yeah, he would just take all the um, he would just take, if there is such a thing as joy in a passing, yeah, he would absolutely take that. So yeah, I think that his funeral being today, the day before someone appears in court, is, oh, it just feels, the timing, everything of it. I think you're absolutely right in that um, this was divinely planned. And so remember that going forward, that things may not happen as quickly as we like. Things may not happen in the timing that we like. But things are happening behind the scenes. And if we can see what has happened in the past, and we can appreciate the divine timing of it, have the same faith in the divine timing that is going to be happening over the next few months. I think it is going to, where A year or two from now, I think we can have the same conversation and we could say, okay, I get it now. I get it. I didn't then, but I get it now. Yeah. Um, the Iran hostage. They were released the day he was inaugurated. You know, um, yes, Shaw woman. I think Reagan's election was set up, which included the Iran hostages. Yeah, because they were released the day he was inaugurated. However, that deal was brokered by Jimmy Carter. That was done by Jimmy Carter. Reagan just happened to be there to um, to take the glory lap. Right? Does that sound familiar? Yes, absolutely. And yes, book. They weren't they just kind of like the Cheshire Cat, when they would do the side eye at each other. Yeah, I think that things are things are going to start to happen, and um, we're seeing some of the we're seeing some of the steps that are taking place now. So, um, just put out your good intentions. Send out that light and love to anywhere in the world that it might be needed. Shine your light so that those who want to hear your message um, are are going to come forward, so that we can all unite together, so that we can manifest the world that we want to live in. Um, and just have faith that it will. We may still be in for some um, for some surprises, some things that are going to come out that are absolutely going to shock us. um, i have been I have been getting a sense that once the dominoes start to fall, it's going to be one right after another. And it is going to be very shocking to find out which Democrats um, have been involved in a not so positive way behind the scenes. And that is, it's going to rock some people's foundation. At the end of it all, um, the lesson for everyone is do the best that you can with what you can. Make sure that you double check, triple check things that you are hearing. Don't just, if you read something on Facebook because it's your best friend's cousin that posted it, doesn't mean that it's true. Check and double check. Check and double check. Look for the source. Where is that coming from? Is it some place that you're familiar with, or is it a place that you're a little suspect, right? It's a little suspicious where it's coming from. And and Shaw woman, if you have 2 years, if it is going to happen, I think it's going to happen a lot quicker than 2 years. That's kind of what it feels like to me now. I could be off base, but if someone was to get in, I think that the idea that you're going to be voting people in and out of Congress in 2 years' time is not going to happen. And I don't mean that to be, fear mongering. I don't mean that to scare, but I think that That is the reality behind some of these people wanting to stay in power, and knowing that um, if people have an opportunity to voice their opinion again, it's not going to be good for them. So I can honestly see someone saying, no, you know what, there's been so much um, talk about election interference, and there's been all kinds of things that no, we're going to need to suspend elections until we figure out what's going on and come up with a system so that it can't be rigged, and so on and so forth. That's what I've been getting. Could be right, could be wrong. So I hope that I'm wrong. But yeah. Hello, they are narcissists. Hello, butterflies are free. Thank you for joining us. And Cash Peters just posted a video. Nice. And yes, Dawn, it will be like bricks falling from the sky. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And book, yes, I will be sending you some Reiki healing. Definitely for sure. Definitely for sure. Yeah. So that's kind of where I am today. Um, I am very hey, Sherry, voices from the swamp. Where's Val? I had to fire her. She just she was getting a little too loud. So yeah. Sherry is actually on a flight to Cancun as we speak. So yeah, she should be landing soon, and she's going to be tomorrow. I expect to hear from her, and she'll probably send me pictures of her on the beach. So yeah, enjoying that ceviche and all that other good stuff. So yeah, that's what Val is doing. So, and for I should mention that next Thursday um, would be episode 109, and Val and I trade winks. Well, we recorded episode 109, so next Thursday, while she's on the beach, you're going to be able to see episode 109. Yay. Yes. Uh, oh, Sherry. Oh, Sherry, it's 20s down your area. Oh, girlfriend, I hear you. I hear you. Yeah, it's about 28 here. Yeah. So I get it. I get it. I actually it was so cold the other day that I actually took out one of my faux fur coats. They're fabulous, by the way. They keep me warm like nobody's business. Um, but yeah, I actually dug it out, and I do have it, at the front door, because I know this, and this isn't cold weather for us, right? This is okay. Um, I could put on a light jacket, and I'd be okay in this weather, but I know it's not going to last. Yeah. Sherry says, I don't own a coat. Oh gosh. Yeah. I There are parts, um, and I know several people here in Calgary who work in downtown Calgary, that generally in the wintertime, they will start their vehicles in their garage. They can get into their vehicle, they will drive into downtown Calgary where they work. They will generally they'll park in the underground parkade at their business. They take the elevator up to their office. When it's time for them to go for lunch, we have, through most of downtown, a series of what are called plus 15, and that is they're covered, enclosed bridges that kind of go from office building to office building, so that you're protected from the elements. They're air conditioned in the summertime. They're heated in the wintertime. So you could literally go from your house with a light jacket, go to work, go to lunch, do some shopping along the way, go back into your vehicle, and yeah, you don't need that heavy coat. Yeah. Oh, goodness gracious. Are you kidding me, Liz? Are you kidding me? So it's not the Jewish lasers. Oh, oh my gosh. Oh, Teresa says, yeah, we call them skywalks in Minneapolis. Yeah, yeah. So you know what I mean. Yeah, absolutely. And there's a lot of the city of Montreal is like that, where you've got um, you know tall office buildings, apartment buildings, and you've got the subway underneath, and same thing where buildings are kind of joined, so that yeah, a lot of people in Montreal who live in downtown Montreal don't need heavy clothing, because when it's time to go to work, they take the elevator from their apartment down into their office building. So yeah, there you go. And sorry, I just need to see that. Probably hit a goodwill for one. Yeah. I'd like to know. Here we go. Book Bewitched says, yeah, Melania's outfit. Google says critiques only escalated with one user adding, looks like our next 4 years of what the F is Melania wearing starts today. Oh yeah. Yeah. You won't see too much of hers. You really, really won't. Yeah. Because if he is sworn in, she's not going to be there. No, she has to be with her son, Baron. And he is going to university in New York. Apparently, what do I know? Yeah. Yeah. So we started off kind of with a good message, and then I kind of got sidetracked a little bit. See, that's what happens when Val isn't here to keep me in line, is I can go off on a tangent. Now, having said that, I think, do we all do shooters on Marina's Live? Yes, absolutely. I'm down for that. I'm down for that. Speaking, uh, yes, Sherry. I was saying earlier that yeah, he probably drew the short straw, and yeah, and then some. Yeah, I think Dawn said that yeah, they probably owe him dinner and a few other things. Yeah, absolutely. And just to um, just to remind you, um, I am scheduled this Saturday that Linda G is supposed to be coming to the channel. I haven't heard that she's not coming, and I know that she's not that close to the fires. But I'm saying she's going to be here on Saturday at 3 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. If anything changes, I'll let you guys know. But um, yeah, absolutely. I love that it was Mother Pence just ignored. Yes, she did. Yes, Sherry, she did. And there was, I'd mentioned earlier that there was a lot as Clinton came in, and they shook hands with everyone except those two. Um, Obama, well, yeah, the orange one and Obama were the first ones to kind of come in. And Obama shook hands with everyone. I don't think that he shook hands with you know who. Um, and as the other ones were coming in, they kind of did the same thing. They greeted everyone. The only exception was with Kamala Harris and her husband, and Biden and Mrs. Biden. They came in, they sat down, they sort of acknowledged the others, but they didn't do the handshake. But that was fine. And yeah, Obama didn't shake their hand either. Nope. It was, you kind of want to put your hand out and go, oh, psych. Remember those? Yes. Yeah. So, you guys, if you're the book, I think Buck had mentioned the Rwanda, the capes. Yeah, they're lovely. They really are lovely. Yeah. And yes, Artist Liz, you don't know where they've been. Yeah. And hello. Yeah, the orange one shook hands with Pence. I don't know why Mike would have done that. I wouldn't have. Yeah. And yes, Sherry, much like the snub from the rep congresswoman's husband. Oh, like, dude, you're riding your wife's coattails, right? Yeah. I don't think that her feelings were very hurt. Honestly, I really don't. So, and I'm not sure where this was that it happened, but there was I saw a short little video of a little boy. He looked like he was maybe 6 or 7 years old, who said to Kamala Harris in a very shaky voice, "I'm really sorry that you lost." And she said, "Oh, honey, oh, no, it's okay. It's okay." Like, no, she mentioned something about being, well, being strong, or, yeah, yeah, we're not defeated, or something along those lines. Anyway, it was just, it was just wonderful. It was just wonderful. She was being so gracious. Guadalupe, thank you for being here and listening. Usually, I can tell you that the messages for Lightworkers show is a lot more spiritual. Today, without my co-host, I'm lost. So I hope that you will come back. I hope that you will come back. Yeah. And for those of you that are here, yes, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, give the video a thumbs up. It'll keep things going and whatnot. And I really would like to get to that 4,700 as soon as I can, and then on to 5,000. After that, the moon. If you have a roll of bubble wrap, spray the bubbles and press it against your indoor windows. Oh, thank you for sharing that, innocent potato. If you have a roll of bubble wrap, spray the bubble side and press it against your indoor windows. Bubbles facing outside helps keep your house warm. Thank you for sharing that, innocent potato. There's plenty of us who are dealing with cold weather. That will be great. Oh, and Dawn says, yep, that works really well. I've done that for years. Huh. Who knew? Who knew? Huh. All right, you guys, before I really take this lovely series of shows and irretrievably break it, I think I think I'm going to say good night to you all. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me. And thank you for your comments. And by all means, for those of you that if you haven't seen Jimmy Carter's funeral, please watch it. It was absolutely heartwarming, and I was overjoyed by by so many of the things that people said about him, and what an excellent example of a kind, loving, compassionate human being he was. And we just have to find more Jimmy Carters out there. So thank you all. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Oh, before I forget, yes, tomorrow at 2 p.m. I'll be having Ramon from Moon Scarab on the show. So he will be introduced to a lot of you that may not know who he is. I know Sherry's had him on her channel, so you might have seen him there. But he'll will be joining me tomorrow at 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And then at 7 p.m., I'll be on Cool Crone Oracle. And then at 8 p.m., it's going to be a busy day tomorrow, I'll be on Allie's channel for Story in the Cards. So that is what's going on. Yes, Don, he is. He's very, very pretty to look at. Yeah. Not to mention, an awesome tarot reader as well. All right. Okay. Now y'all know what's going on. Thank you for being here. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one. Bye.